Have you ever heard of a moment so surprising, so full of faith and emotion, that it sends shivers down your spine? Well, get ready, because today we are going to tell you the story of a lady who, during a procession dedicated to Our Lady, was saved by the most unusual companion anyone could imagine: her faithful dog. It is one of those situations that seems unbelievable, but that makes us reflect on the power of devotion and, at the same time, the beauty of the bonds of love between humans and animals. Stay with me until the end, because you will not want to miss a single detail of this extraordinary event. And before we continue, leave in the comments the names of people and relatives who need prayer, because we will add all of these names to our main prayer with the rosary. It all began in a small village in the countryside, where faith in Our Lady was passed down from generation to generation as the greatest treasure that can be inherited. In this simple community, people gathered annually for the great procession in honor of the Virgin Mary, decorating the streets with flowers and songs, while carrying lit candles and praying the rosary with devotion. In this setting so full of love and reverence lived Dona Marissa, a woman who looked fragile but had a huge heart. She was known for her fervent prayers and for the inseparable company of Belinia, her furry little dog, who followed her everywhere. Belinia was seen by everyone as a four-legged angel. While Dona Marissa said her prayers in church, he would be there, quietly, lying at her feet. And if by chance she moved away, Belinia would bark softly, as if to remind her that he was nearby, ready to protect her. On the day of the procession, however, there was no indication that anything extraordinary would happen. Entire families, groups of friends, and even people who only showed up on that special date walked together, praying and carrying the image of Our Lady on a stretcher full of flowers. The church bells rang non-stop, announcing the community's living faith. It was then that, halfway through the procession, Dona Marissa began to feel dizzy. Everything around her was spinning slowly, sweat was running down her forehead and her legs were shaking. Still, she didn't want to interrupt the procession for anything. After all, that moment meant a lot to her. No one noticed right away what was happening, because the music and loud prayers seemed to cover up any warning signs. Only Belinia, always attentive, noticed that his owner was in trouble. He began to pull the hem of Dona Marissa's dress insistently, almost as if he wanted to carry her or warn someone that something was very wrong. In a matter of seconds, Dona Marissa lost her balance and fell to the ground. The people nearby immediately got excited, trying to help her. But Belinia didn't stay still. He advanced towards the feet of the faithful, barking desperately, trying to get the attention of those who were a little further away. It was then that a group of young people, upon seeing the dog running from one side to the other, noticed the scene and ran to help her. The procession stopped immediately, and a circle formed around Dona Marissa. Some began to pray, others tried to fan her to cool her face, while others urgently looked for water. The atmosphere, which until then had been calm and devout, turned into a wave of emotional solidarity. The priest who had been accompanying the procession quickly approached, bringing with him the image of Our Lady, blessing Dona Marissa right there, in the middle of the street. Belinia remained by her side, licking her hand, as if begging her to wake up. It seemed that the entire community was in suspense, praying fervently and asking for Our Lady's intercession so that this dear lady could recover. And then, almost like a miracle in front of everyone, Dona Marissa opened her eyes and took a deep breath, slowly regaining consciousness. When she woke up, the first thing she felt was Belinia's snout pressed against her face, full of concern. Confused but relieved, Dona Marissa recounted how, amidst her dizziness, she had felt an inexplicable support, almost as if invisible hands were holding her, preventing the fall from becoming even more serious. The unshakable faith, and the certainty that Our Lady was present at that moment took hold of everyone. Some even said they saw a soft light around the image of the Virgin, while the dog barked in an almost solemn manner, as if it were also praying. What had previously been a fright turned into a testimony of faith and unity in the community. The procession, which had to be interrupted, was soon resumed, but now with a different flavor. The voices singing hymns in praise of Our Lady seemed stronger. The rosary resounded with more fervor and gratitude. And Dona Marissa, to everyone's joy, remained steadfast, supported by her neighbors and always with Belinia walking by her side. The story of this lady and her dog spread quickly, reaching other cities in the region, becoming a symbol of how much faith can surprise us and how small gestures of protection, coming from a little animal, can save lives. Thus, the procession became a powerful testimony that Our Lady's intercession and the loyalty of a true friend have no limits. Now I ask you, do you believe that animals can feel things that we humans cannot perceive? This story of Dona Marissa and Belinia makes us reflect on how these faithful companions often protect us, guide us, and even save us in critical moments. There are many reports of dogs, cats, and even birds that, in some way, have demonstrated inexplicable behavior when faced with dangerous situations. Some sense illnesses before they are even diagnosed, others can predict storms, and there are even those that refuse to leave the side of a person who is about to go through a difficult time. Have you ever experienced something like this? Have you ever had an animal protect you or demonstrate something out of the ordinary? If so, share your experience here in the comments. And speaking of which, do you have a pet? A dog, a cat, or perhaps another animal that is part of your family? If so, write its name here in the comments. Let's dedicate a special prayer to it too. After all, these beings are gifts from God to us. They teach us about unconditional love, loyalty, and often even spirituality. Many people say that their pets get restless when they feel bad energy in the house, or that they react in a special way during times of prayer. Have you ever noticed something like this with your pet? Tell us about it. Stories like this one about Dona Marissa and Belinia remind us that God manifests himself in many ways, including through animals. Are they angels in disguise? Instruments of protection? Little guardians sent to take care of us? The fact is that, when we are in touch with our faith, we begin to notice signs in details that previously went unnoticed. And that is what I invite you to do. Pay more attention to the signs of life, value the presence of your pets, and never stop praying and giving thanks. Now tell me, what did you think of this story? Do you believe that animals have a spiritual connection with their owners? Leave your comment, and, if this story touched your heart, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more incredible stories like this. If we stop to reflect, we will see that this extraordinary episode reflects much of what we experience in our daily lives. How many times do we feel weak, about to fall, and are supported by people, or even pets, who offer us help at a crucial moment? And how many times do we fail to give thanks for these small but great blessings? Daily prayers and sermons serve to keep us firm in faith, promoting forgiveness, peace in our hearts, more conversions, and confidence that we are never alone. Therefore, I invite you once again. Leave in the comments the name of who you would like to be remembered in the prayers, so that we can include them in the main prayer with the Rosary. United in prayer, we can make a difference in the lives of many people. Now, tell me here in the comments, what did you think of this remarkable story about faith, friendship, and the power of Our Lady in our lives? Share your opinion, your experience, and what you feel in your heart when you hear this story. And if you liked this content, don't forget to leave your like, and subscribe to our channel to receive more inspiring stories like this one. Let's continue spreading faith, hope, and love to others. God bless you, and until our next meeting.